Okay, everybody.
Got it on?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, so I was thinking about something that happened to me this week, and along the lines of nationalism, xenophobia, bigotry, racism. I mean, all that stuff. Because I had an experience at a Bible study group that was kind of strange. So I go to a Bible study sometimes just for myself. I really I don't know. I find it a very good grounding, clarifying, processing, reflecting, supportive sort of thing. I was raised Jewish. Being Jewish is really important to my family. I had an Orthodox Jewish education, so I know a whole lot about it. And I tell people that I'm happy to explain things because there's a lot that people don't understand. So the lesson in Bible study was, I could tell where he was getting. It was something or other about rules. And okay, Judaism is full of rules. That's why that's why I consider myself an ex-Jew. It was like, it's a bunch of rules, okay? It's like, I feel like Jesus is a friend, okay? That's how I feel like Jesus can be for me, like a friend, a supportive friend. You know what? The Jewish God is just some person with a bunch of rules. I'm like, the Bible study leader was talking about something their minister had said about, I'm sort of relating this, a elevator in Israel where that stops at every floor. And because of the Jewish laws of Shabbat. So people were just being really derisive about this. Like, oh, blah, blah, that's ridiculous. So I said, like, hey, you know what? You're really missing the point. The reason that it's like that is because on the Shabbat, observant Jews can't work machinery. So they don't drive, they don't turn on lights, like you're not allowed to write. There's a whole procedure. You're not allowed to like alter things. And I mean, back in the day, farmers and all of them observed the Sabbath that way. Even more like, people really meant it. You're really not supposed to do anything. But I mean, like Seventh-day Adventists, there's other people that have really strict Sabbath observances. And so I was explaining about the Sabbath, and I was just going like, this is not, I was going like, okay, first of all, that this is like any place where there's observant Jews. So you just don't be talking about that, like, this is not about like one elevator in the state of Israel. This is something that observant Jews do. And so somebody said, well, we're just saying what our pastor told us. And I said, well, he's missing the point. And I was trying to explain about the rationale behind not doing anything. It's like, it's the holy day. People pray and study the Bible and hang out together. That's what they do. It's their it's a holy day. But there was a woman who's been sort of mean to, but somebody was laughing and I said it's not funny. And there was somebody who's been really mean to me before, and she started saying like, what do people do? Just sit around and veg? What about taking care of your kids? Blah, blah. In this really like mean, challenging, derogatory way. And I was trying to explain to them that Like, no, it is the exact opposite of people sitting around and vegging. That's not what they do at all. But this had been going on, and by the time she got to that, I just said, I'm not going to listen to this, and left. And I would have been fine with people being like bigoted out of ignorance, because, okay, I would have done this, like, okay, Muslims have a lot of rules and laws that have a lot of strict rules and laws that might like not make sense to people. The Amish ride buggy. So I would have felt the same way if anybody's spiritual observance had been mocked in that way. That's not okay with me at all. But I mean, I have cousins who follow rules like that, and the reason that the way they would do something like that in an elevator is so that people in wheelchairs, people that are mobility impaired, could get in the elevator on each floor, and other people would just take the stairs. Okay, you're completely missing the point. If you're making fun of the expression of somebody's religion, you don't even understand. You're missing the point. It's about the
right.
observance itself. Like, yeah, go make fun of the Amish. So, I mean, I just felt like I would have been fine with people being like bigoted out of being ignorant, but this was somebody who's kind of a mean person anyway, so I was just not prepared to listen to her. No.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Like, boy, she gonna be crazy.
I know. No, I would have been out of there before. So.
Okay.
But it's kind of an example, because I was trying to think of what is the word. It's like, okay, there's because I didn't want to say like anti-Semitism. It's not like they didn't like. I mean, you know, they think the Jews are wrong, but I didn't feel like it was that. I just felt like it was bigotry, like ignorance, and it was people making fun of, mocking something that they didn't understand, that seemed strange to them. So that's where I put it down to. I was like, but it was always going to happen at some point, because like I was at another Bible study group where I explained some things in the New Testament, I mean, in the Old Testament. I mean, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to inform people, but not when they're going to be rude about it.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, but it's an example of how people can be so divided that, okay, this turned into a like mocking session of like, oh my God, these weirdos with their elevator, and it just made me sad, because I had actually thought that the Bible study leader was going to be going the other way around, sort of, and I thought that he knew about the Jewish Sabbath, and that he knew that it's a day for people to pray and read the Bible and spend time with their family. So it's like, you know, who can disagree with that? So, you know, it was sad to see people's. It's the same thing as if you start, you know, mocking Muslims for their clothes or something like that, or mocking Sikhs for their beard, because their religion says you need to wear a beard. And it's like, you know, so what? Okay, that's just that is the expression of somebody's spiritual faith, and it doesn't matter if we agree with it. You need to be respectful.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah, it got deep. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's one reason I'm wiped out. It's been a rough week. I was like trying to, you know, take care of the sick kitten, and animals are just a metaphor for so many things. I mean, there's people that can just be totally like reserved and turned off, that are like not really emotional about anything, but that can lose it about an animal.
Right.
People, it really, really gets to people.
is true. That is so true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh man. Wait. The government didn't... isn't the government supposed to shut down again in about a week?
Yes, let's see if it happens.
Yeah.
They haven't talked about it, so let's see.
Yeah, they haven't. Well, they've been talking about gun control.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. If people could just make some little movement, okay? Please do something, okay? Pass a law. Come on, guys. Just do something.
That's going to be hard. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. I've been,
Healthcare, gun control, helping the poor.
Well, trying to get some Democrats elected this year.
All that kind of stuff seems like those three things are like the worst things to try to pass anything on. To me. That's to me personally. Healthcare, gun control, and when it comes to helping the poor.
Man, it's so crazy because it's like, okay, not everybody's poor, but everybody needs health care.
Right. But those three, man, you can never, it just seems like those are lingering from years.
Yeah.
You always hear about feeding, helping the poor, and you always hear about something with guns. We need to let them go. We need to keep them, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, our Palestinian and Israeli healthcare. That's healthcare to us. We'll just be talking about that for ages because it seems like it'll never be universal here.
I agree. Yes, I agree. So I'm pleased because this week I'm gonna go up and see my family, and so one of the things you do one of the things that really made me decide that I was a historian was because I got interested in putting things together. And so, I kind of have my dudes that I study: Doug Hammarskjöld, Ralph Bunche, Bayard Rustin, and my father was friends with Senator Henry Jackson, who was a senator from Washington State for a very long time, and I'm friends with his son. Peter Jackson. Okay, Peter Hardin Jackson. Okay, so I'm really excited because I admire Bayard Rustin a lot, and so I wanted to see if he exchanged letters with Scoop Jackson, Senator Jackson, and he did. Okay, so this Friday, I'm going to go to the Scoop Jackson archives and look at that stuff.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's very cool. I'm really excited. It was one of the few. I asked my dad if he could help me set that up because, they're not, one little perk. One little perk, but that would be cool. I mean, because then I can start putting together, I don't know, like the stuff that interests me. Like this would be my event. This would be how I start to write a book. If I put together Bayard Rustin, Ralph Bunche, I found out about those connections, and because then I happen to be interested in Scoop because I knew him. I met it. I always say that Scoop is my sign that there can be good politicians because I just adored the guy. There's pictures of me sitting with him all happy, and he just. I probably. It's not like I probably just met him twice, but it was okay, kids know who's a good guy, okay?
Right.
Scoop was a good guy. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing that research. Let's play a little bit more music.
Let's
and
do
then
it.
wrap up.